From inside the Stay Plugged In studios here in Charlotte, North Carolina, my name is Bearlight, and we are here for the finals of the Spring Nationals Split 1 for 2021. And tonight we will bring you a solid showing of the top division, the Pewter division, facing off between Hitmonchan and Arbok. Now, a quick, brief story about these two teams before we get started here. And I understand that we are bringing up the service for you now, so we can get into these games sooner rather than later. But a quick storyline before we get you going here. So far, throughout the entire split, which was 10 games within the division of the Pewter division, it was Arbok who only dropped one game during the regular season, and guess who that was to? It was Hitmonchan, who is on the other side of the pitch, made up of Cryptic, Wuzzy, and typically Adam, but this time we have Zernite filling in for the finals, but he's been a part of this team for a while now, so I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be ready to go in this team on firing on all cylinders. For Arbok, it's Rise Ninja, it's Antics, it's Race. This team has been incredibly solid. Like I said, only dropped that one game in the regular season to Hitmonchan, and Hitmonchan is such a solid team to begin with, but they came in at 7-3 versus the 9-1 that Arbok comes in with. The thing is, Arbok's kryptonite seems to be Hitmonchan, because the reason they're coming back from the loser's bracket or the lowest bracket rather than actually having the advantage here in this bracket reset situation is because it was Hitmonchan that took them out 2-0. And although it was a 2-0 game to settle that one in the playoffs, it was still incredibly close, a great series. I talked to both of these teams before we got going, and let me tell you, it was a pleasure to see exactly how close this matchup was and how excited they are in this one. So before we get started, we want you to hit !AimLab. That's AIMLAB in chat. If you don't know, AimLab is one of the best places where you can fine-tune your FPS shots. Make sure you hit all your marks with AimLab. We're about to get you in the action right now. Both teams joining their sides, and we should bring you the action here shortly. Again, Hitmonchan with the advantage both of these series if we need to. which if Hitmonchan wins, again, it's just one best of 5 and they go home the victors. But if they drop this series, Arbok would force a bracket reset where we'll see another best of 5 series. So we're in it to win it here as we reset the lobby here for you. A couple of other notes here as well for Team Arbok. Antics comes in with the second highest spin rating in the league, so you got to keep your eye out on him. He also has the highest shot percentage per game as well. So closely behind him, though, in second place is Cryptic, and he's on Team Hitmonchan. As we get underway, Hitmonchan in blue, Arbok in orange, and we're underway with game number 1 here. As it'll be Antics. He'll have the first real challenge here for Arbok. Gets a pass across, but it looks like Rise Ninja was not ready for that one, so it'll work its way to the wall. Now a good pass across from Cryptic to Wuzzy. That combination has been outstanding. From what I've heard, those two like to target one another in the 3s scenario, and when they play 2s, they are 2s partners. That's great. Rise Ninja had the chance, but unable to connect. And Antics tries to get around it, but Cryptic able to get to it. Here's Race. He's up for this one. Wuzzy off the back wall, but Race beat him. But luckily for Wuzzy, it was Zernite able to step up and get that challenge off, and Hitmonchan with the first real challenges here as Arbok just having to hold on to the defense. Both of these teams known to play at an upper pace, so we're definitely in for a treat, a gym here. As we see Zernite kind of bullying Race in that corner as well. And Wuzzy will jump on this next chance and move it on out. 1 minute and 20 seconds played. A shot on, but good challenge from Race. A good job to jump out quickly to make sure they weren't able to handle it. So now Antics, almost gets it across, but Wuzzy back into the zone. Off that back wall. Now Wuzzy a shot, and he's able to put it away. And Hitmonchan draws first blood. It is 1-0 for their squad, as he set himself up there, and Race kind of a missed jump on the defense. You expect him to get that one, but just wasn't able to make it happen on the defensive side of things, which is definitely a rare mistake. So Hitmonchan will enjoy their lead early here, as we see Hitmonchan with a back pass. Now it'll be Zernite from that back wall. For whatever reason, it just seems like Arbok is the strongest team in the league until they play Hitmonchan. Then it's a whole different story, and it's been that way since the beginning of the split. And I don't know if this goes back to another split. A shot, what a save from Wuzzy! He was able to get across and get that one. Impressive stuff on the defense for Hitmonchan. A shot, but they're not going to get that one, as Raze puts it away. And Race will give Arbok an even look here at the scoreboard, 1-1 with 2:54 remaining. So Arbok, we know they can hang, obviously. They are the top team in the league in the regular season. Hitmonchan, however, coming in from the winners. If you're just joining us, it is game number 1, and Arbok needs to win this best-of-5 series in order to force a bracket reset on Hitmonchan. Although a long shot, they have been so solid every year, so or every split, that is, including this one. So we'll see if they can kind of work it back, as they've tried to gain a little bit of momentum here. Moving forward off the back wall where Cryptic gets a good read. They'll be up for that already. Is Race. He's in the midfield trying to locate a teammate now. Let's get one touch, but a big booming clear, and so Antics will have to backtrack on this one and restart. Cryptic back wall. Some of the physicality coming out here early too in the series, as is expected when things get really tight, especially when we talk about Division 1 gameplay. When we're talking about the top division, we talk about no space giving up, so demos are huge in that one. Now, it'll be across. Wuzzy trying to find Cryptic. Down to Zernite. Another touch back up to Wuzzy. A passing play, a shot, but it's Rise Ninja able to get that save, as Hitmonchan had plenty of room to work with, and they continue to press. Now Wuzzy, a little bit too hot to handle for Cryptic, and he backflips, and Zernite back over to Cryptic, and Hitmonchan continues their incredible passing ability, as that is what they're known for as well, which a lot of teams are able to adjust to as well. With Hitmonchan, when you know and you kind of give hints at when you're going to make a passing play happen whenever you're that smooth with it, if you're talented enough, usually you're able to get across, and Arbok is talented enough, but for whatever reason, it tends to kind of go against what they do. It kind of just has been the kryptonite, to say the least, for this team. But we remain tied, deadlocked here at 55 seconds remaining, as Wuzzy, couple of touches, unexpected here, as they're not able to connect, so it'll be Wuzzy again, past Antics. Zernite leaving it back for Cryptic. Gets one touch, a second one is shot it on, and Hitmonchan regains their lead 2-1 with another passing play. And Hitmonchan continues to just be the dominant force of offense between these two teams. Another incredible passing play here. And they go up 2-1 and regain that lead. Now, Rise. Was he able to get that from the back wall? Antics, a quick turn, but Cryptic right there to touch it back middle. And it'll be Arbok directly on this one, leaving it a shot up. But was he able to realize that that one was kind of left in the slot there, and that a shot was coming, so he was able to get back to it. Now, was he a chance, but that one's cut off as well. And it'll be around to Antics, and he'll boom right back out, where Cryptic makes a save. 8 seconds remaining. Last push for Arbok here in game number 1. Race gets a touch, a chance, it's across, a shot, and with 0 seconds left, they tie it at 2. Rise Ninja set up beautifully by Race off that back wall. Cryptic not able to get the touch, and Wuzzy, his momentum leading him into the back of the net instead of the front of it to make the save. And Arbok, with 0 seconds left, able to tie it up. Oh my goodness. What a play from Arbok, keeping with it. And now they push, and we'll have the real first chance here. An overtime is shot, and that one's gonna go far side at Antics. They get the 0-second goal. They get the overtime goal, and Arbok gets the game 1 victory. Wow. Completely unexpected. Hitmonchan not only built themselves a lead early in this one, and then held on to it for a majority of that game until the very end, where Arbok was able to get that 0-second goal. And when they brought it into overtime, they wasted no time. They jumped right on it, and they were able to get the victory here by the count of 3-2. Incredible way to start off this finals matchup. That is insane. Antics, we talked about it before. He leads the league in shots per game. It continues to be that way. That same feeling of, again, 3 shots in that one. He averages 4 shots, so a little bit less than usual, right, for Antics, but you still have to make those saves, and those shots are always solid shots, too, to try to keep track of, and Arbok just does what they do best. They stuck with it, and for them, again, if they win this series, they're able to cause a bracket reset. We play a whole new best of 5, but Hitmonchan, they started off good. They held it for a majority of that game. 4 minutes, 30 seconds of it. They were in control, but they just weren't able to pull it off, as I'm not getting the best. We'll reset the server 40. Obviously, we want to make sure that these players get the best server they can, and so they're not struggling later on. But as far as what we've seen so far, it's been incredibly impressive. Both ways, I would argue. More so for Arbok, because they were able to hold on, which I was actually shocked to see that last-second goal not being challenged at all on the defense. It looked like they kind of, Arbok had Hitmonchan on their heels. It looked like Zernite a little bit out of place there, forcing Wuzzy to get back and try to make a save, but just wasn't able to. Now, I would definitely attribute that to the fact that it just seems like Zernite hasn't had a whole lot of practice with the team. I know he's definitely played in a few series, don't get me wrong. So he has that experience playing with these players, so that's not the issue. I think the issue, though, is the fact that the other 3 are typically usually Adams in here, and he's working his magic. If you don't know, he's part of the bubble scene as well. So Nefarious is actually the team he's on for that. So for the RLCS push, you've seen him in RLCS before. It just speaks to the talent of these players and what they're all about. Adam, a great job to kind of not only make it into the bubble scene, but also show what he's all about for colleges who might be on the phone with him and trying to recruit him, because he would be a great addition. As are all of these players, let's be real. So we'll love to see and continue the action here in just a second. Again, we want to thank Aim Lab here as well for just doing what they do, being the best at what they do, right? So Again, exclamation point aim lab in the chat to check out how you can improve your FPS gameplay. So, new lobby almost up here for you. Again, if you're following the Viridian division as well, it is Dragonite facing off with Jolteon in the Viridian division. That the other gameplay taking place right now from the other 3 divisions. Unfortunately, we're not able to capture those, and we appreciate your patience beginning the stream as we had some technical difficulties. But we were able to figure that out. So we're able to kind of bring everything together in production-wise. But what we will do is we'll take you to a quick break here. Game number 1, again, if you're just joining us, was to Team Arbok with the crazy 0-second goal and overtime win. We have plenty of that action here returning, so please don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a second. Welcome back to the Spring Nationals 2021 Split Number 1 Finals for the Pewter division. We just got word from the Viridian division that Jolteon able to take the championship. What a team, going 10-0 during the regular season and 1 from the winner's side of the bracket. That means, spoilers, they didn't drop a series. So congratulations to Jolteon in the Viridian division. We'll keep you up to date with the other ones if we are able to as well. But if you're just joining us, Arbok trying to get off to another good start here as they were able to take game number 1. And we move into game number 2. Hitmonchan, again, if you're just joining us, jumped into the winner's side of the bracket into the grand finals that way, which means they only have to win 1 series. Arbok, if they end up pulling this one off, will go and force a bracket reset, and we will play some more Rocket League, which we are never opposed to here. Here's Zernite, able to get a pass off to Cryptic. We appreciate your patience again as we were took you to a short break. Just had one of the players having to reset their hardware, but we are back in action here for game number 2. Here's Cryptic. For that one, a quick touch, but off the sidewall, it's Race, it looked like. He's up for Rise Ninja, but was he able to meet him up there quickly? A demo from Race, and that's going to leave the net wide open. That physicality coming in such clutch moments for Arbok, and they do it again. 1-0 this time with 4:07 remaining, so just under a minute, and they go to work. It's excellent play to jump out. Those bumping plays and demo plays require keen communication. You have to be on your game to communicate to your player that instead of rotating back, instead you're going to jump out and get that demo, get that bump, and you have to be responsible on the defense while that's developing. And they did just that. A shot. And it just seemed like the Arbok defense wasn't ready for it, but it did go wide nonetheless. Maybe he was called off of it, but regardless, he's able to keep it out. Here's Race. A chance to shot. Cryptic can't get back to it. Looks like Antics was giving him a tough time in his own defensive net. And because of that, Arbok now a 2-0 lead here off the car of Race. So Hitmonchan has been the kryptonite from Arbok. We discussed that before the break, but will they continue to do so? Because Arbok Not only the 1-0 in the series, but also a 2-0 lead here in game number 2. Shot gonna go a little bit wide, so Zernite able to clear it out. He had a touch on that. He was not able to direct it towards the net, but that was nuts. Zernite goes low, but Ray's still able to back up Antix with a great save. And now he tries to play it in. Backtracking to midfield where Zernite takes a shot just wide as well. Hitmonchan, they're getting the passing plays off, but the difference tonight is they're just not able to connect. They seem just a few pixels off. Well, they'll have to go back to work, but if their passing continues, I think eventually they should, in theory, develop to a place where they can hit their marks on these shots. It just has not been the case in these first couple of games. And they had a lead for a majority of game number 1 as well. If you're just tuning in, you missed a doozy of a game number 1 because they went down to a 0-second opportunity for Arbok where they were able to tie it up and get the win in overtime. So Hitmonchan has definitely hit their marks at some point. Well, to get back to that, here's Race. A demo again from Antix. And now nobody able to jump up for it for Arbok. So they missed the opportunity there, but they have the 2-0 lead. That's why you establish leads early, so you don't have to worry about it. In case things go by the wayside. Cryptic answering some of that physicality with the demo as well on the Arbok side, but they continue to press in. Zernite over to Cryptic. It's rolling back towards his net, and he's able to get around it and get a flick off, and Zernite will help out and jump to it, get a touch. We'll need another one to try to get across. Antix with the demo as well. A double commit here from Arbok. It's going to go right down in front of the easiest goal Zernite's ever scored in his life. Unfortunately, that's sometimes the case whenever you get a double commit like that, because it looked like Antix was getting bullied in his own back corner as well. While that was developing, wide open net, Hitmonchan back within 1. So Arbok the 2-1 lead here. Cryptic winning this one forward, trying to make it a 2 quick goals. Wasn't able to connect, so it would be Wuzzy back up for this one. Minute 42 remaining, 2-1 lead Arbok. Here's Race. We'll try to force the issue, but for Cryptic, that's an easy save. But Zernite puts it up to Wuzzy, trying to clear back out again. The passing out of the zone for Hitmonchan has been much better than it has been in the first couple minutes. So look to capitalize in this last minute and a half here. Pass across Zernite. Kind of waiting for it as it was kind of just drifting its way back into Arbok's end, but they're able to just keep it in. Now Antix, pass across, but cleaned up by Cryptic easily, and he'll try to move it out to Zernite, but he's cut off. Rise Ninja trying to keep the pressure on, but Cryptic has plenty of time all day long, it seemed like. Now Wuzzy took a shot on the other end from about midfield, but they were all over that defensively. He didn't have a teammate up there, so it kind of made it easy. And now it'll be Arbok. They'll have their opportunity to break out of the zone. Antix, the next to be on it. Cryptic, kind of beat by his own man Zernite as he was trying to find a way to get it over to a corner and maybe relax it, but they weren't on the same page. And so now, because of that, Arbok still not on the same page. A double commit here from Hitmonchan on the backside of things, but Arbok's still not able to do much with it as Race kind of looked handcuffed there with not a lot of boost. But Rise Ninja shot, and Zernite able to get a save. Another shot, and Antix will put it away. And it's a 3-1 lead for Arbok with 25 seconds remaining. So game number 2, unless Hitmonchan can get a couple of quick goals, looks like it might go their way, and they'd be 1 game away from a bracket reset. So Hitmonchan needs a couple quick goals here, like they're trying to find right when they're able to get there first. But they will still search for that ever-elusive goal, as it'll be Antix. Waiting for Race, a good pass across a shot. What a save from Cryptic. But it won't matter much because the follow-up is there from Rise Ninja, making it 4-1 with 4 seconds left, and Arbok will take game number 2. So the effort defensively, you can tell their mechanics are on point. Their defense, when they're scrambling back, is on point. But that's the problem, right? It's the fact that they are forced to scramble back instead of making a confident save has been why Hitmonchan has not been able to come up with a win yet in the series. As in garbage time, it'll just stay up in the air. But once this one hits the ground or goes into the net, we'll move on to game number 3 as Arbok with convincing wins. Or a convincing win in this one, at least, 2-1. The first one, it took them a little bit of time to kind of get things rolling and in action as This one a different story, though. Antics popping off 2 goals with 2 shots, and usually he's the shot taker. But this time it was 5 shots from Race and 5 shots from Rise Ninja for Team Arbok. And they had a goal apiece. Antics only took 4 shots in that one, it looked like, and 2 of them went in. So Antics continuing the offensive onslaught. Even when he's not the one taking the majority of the shots, he's still burying them. And his team really set him up there more so. Seemed like the demos and bumps were more of a thing for Arbok in that game versus Hitmonchan, who were finding good passing plays, but not the back of the net. So that's an issue, right? You get a lot of shots off, but just seems like they were scrambling a little bit on their defensive end. I think once they clean up the defensive rotation, I think that's going to be their biggest help. Because they are known to find those passing plays out of the zone, and that just doesn't happen if you're scrambling back to try to make saves. Suddenly you're out of boost, and then you're back of your own net, and you can't really do much from that position. So Hitmonchan will look to try to adjust and maybe find a way to be more responsible when it comes to the defense. And once that happens and they're in place and rotationally sound on the defense, then I think without a question, the offense becomes no issue at all. Arbok, 1 game away from resetting the bracket here, and I don't think a lot of people anticipated that. I know Arbok has been the best team this season, not only in the standings, but also just as a whole team effort. But Hitmonchan, again, has been the team they can't beat. Arbok has yet to win a series against Hitmonchan. The first one could be the one that forces the bracket reset. So we continue to play on here in game number 3. Off the back wall now, Race will clear it right back out, and he'll actually have plenty of room to work with to get up and try to get a touch. But Zernite kind of baited him in there and was able to jump up and try to get a save as well. Rise Ninja right there. Race, a good job to slow it down and put it past the defense. Some crafty work there from Race and Arbok. Will take the 1-0 lead. So Race had an option to just try to slam that into the goal. But if he were to do that, the netminder would have been right there to make the save and push it out to the corner. So instead, what does he do? He waits. He's patient, able to get a pop up and over and find a way to the back of the net. Now Antics, great pass to Race, but Antics, what a passing play as they're able to go down the pitch 1-2. And the give and go successful. Arbok takes the 2-0 lead. Their passing has been outstanding. And it continues there as Arbok wants this bracket reset, man. I don't know if I've seen a team more on a mission to try to end the chance. That's a double touch, almost makes it. In fact, Antics, the way that it was defended, he actually saved his own shot there, unfortunately, but he almost made it 3-0 here early in game number 3. Now it'll be Race. Shot on, nobody back. Race able to play it away. Arbok on a mission to reset this bracket. 3-0 now as Race just put a shot on. Nobody really back for that one. It looks like old Cryptic was getting bullied by Antics. That's what happened there. In fact, Rise Ninja came through and made a statement there with a demo at the end, even when the play was over with. And a 3-0 lead for Arbok. 2-0 in the series in this best of 5 to reset the bracket. They're just 3 minutes and 40 seconds from that bracket reset. Good pass over to Zernite. Try to put up back wall, but able to clean it up as well. It's a cross. Race having to kind of backtrack on it for Arbok, and now Hitmonchan continues their offensive press. They try to work their way back into this one. It's a 3-0 Arbok lead. Antics past one. Kind of side flip, but kind of also threw off Cryptic. So he had to kind of just chip it over to Wuzzy, who's going to take over from there. Now, Antics back out. Here's Cryptic, as he was able to just trap the zone there, but Race able to put it back out. Zernite backtracks on another touch he wants, and that's going to be an easy cleanup from Race, but he goes wide with it. Oh, no. It was a wide open net. He had a chance to make it 4-0 and missed. And when you're playing Hitmonchan, you're going to want to bury as many as you can. I know that Hitmonchan has not been at the top of their game, but you give them an inch, and they'll take a mile. We'll see if Hitmonchan can even make that happen, though, because their offense has been slacking, to say the least, ever since they gave away that goal. Was he able to get a 50 there? He'll get 1 to go. And apparently all it took was for me to say anything, and then the offense comes alive. As Wuzzy, Rise Ninja came across to try to help, but really all he did was allow a low 50-50 that kind of rolled its way back and in, as The other defender could not get to it for Arbok, and Hitmonchan able to work it back within 2 now. Halfway through this one, Cryptic able to get a touch away. Hopefully that'll spark some offense if you're cheering for Hitmonchan tonight. Now Cryptic off that side wall now. We'll find Wuzzy. Back to Cryptic. Oh, that's such a deadly combination. In fact, Rise Ninja knows that. And another touch, and Rise Ninja has been outstanding. And Arbok up to that 4-1 lead. Nobody could really figure out how to jump out and get some defense on it. I think Zernite's struggling a little bit. Try to find his way with this Hitmonchan team, as he appears to be the weakest link right now. That being said, he'll try to settle things down. Hitmonchan was able to get 1 goal, but since then it's been kind of lackluster. Of course, I say something and was able to kind of finish it and prove me wrong in a 4-2 lead now for Arbok, as now it's down to that 2-goal lead. There was a defender there, but it looked like the 50 just kind of went off of them and put that in the back of the net. Hitmonchan will take it, but they only have a couple minutes to try to put away 2 more, kind of playing catch-up like they have been all series long, except for game number 1. But Wuzzy brings it close. They're back within 1 with the minute 49 remaining. So maybe that 1 goal, even though Arbok was able to answer the first goal quickly, Hitmonchan maybe said, we can score once, we can do it more, boys. And it's been proving to be the case right now, as they have made their mark felt in this game number 3. So now Wuzzy for Hitmonchan, trying to work out, but there's Zernite on the back wall now, trying to still escape the zone as Hitmonchan was in their own end for a minute. Here's Arbok now in their end. Backtracks it here, but it's Zernite. Keep the zone. Wuzzy almost put it to the cross 2. Zernite finds Cryptic, a shot, and that one's in. They tie the game at 4. Zernite seems to have found his place now. And I told you, you cannot pass up on any opportunity to score against Hitmonchan, because they will do exactly this to you. And Arbok now very aware of that. I doubt they're going to give up another easy one. There's no way. As now a pass over the race, was not able to connect. Zernite finally looking like he has figured it out, because sometimes when you're with the team and you don't play as much as a threes combination, it takes you a minute to get back to that groove, but once you find it, then you're good to go. But unfortunately for Hitmonchan, they lost 2 games in the process, but they will take the lead here. 4 unanswered for Hitmonchan, and they have the 1-goal lead with 52 seconds remaining. Is this the turning point of the series? It's been incredible to watch this Hitmonchan doing this. It's insane to see what they're capable of. 5-4 lead for Hitmonchan, ticking down to 47 seconds left on the clock. Here's Antics. He'll find a race off the back wall. Cryptic will get a touch. Unfortunately for him, it's down in front where Rise Ninja was able to get a touch across, but they weren't able to do much more, and the time continues to tick down. But now Race tries to play it into their offensive zone for Arbok. Cryptic off that side wall. But Race able to jump on that one as well, and we'll get another touch off this side wall, so he'll have one more chance here for Arbok, but boomed right out of the zone again, and Antics will have to settle, and maybe this is the last chance. A shot on, and Wuzzy able to put it through. 6-4 for Hitmonchan, make it 5 unanswered as Antics try to find Rise Ninja, and he did. Unfortunately for Arbok, he was backwards, so he wasn't able to do much with it. Hitmonchan knew that, exposed the fact that that was the case. They saw that all the way and were able to capitalize on it. So now Hitmonchan, unless Race is able to put this one in, which he'll try, but Wuzzy will put it over the side. Hitmonchan has won their first game of the series, and it comes at the most opportune time because Arbok had won the first 2 in the best of 5. And Hitmonchan able to score 5 unanswered goals. First of all, they're facing off with Arbok. That doesn't happen very often. You don't do that to Arbok. There's no way that you get 5 unanswered against a team of this caliber. Arbok literally stuck at 4 goals once Hitmonchan got there first. And since then, 5 in a row for Hitmonchan, including 6 shots and 4 goals from Wuzzy. Zernite still looked like he struggled a little bit earlier in this game number 3 as we move into this game number 4. It just seemed like in game number 3, he wasn't a part of the group when this game began. Towards the end of it, totally different story. He fit in the rotations. He started making the passing plays, but more importantly, they got that defense in check after that 4th goal went in. They weren't allowing any chances. They had a majority of the offensive zone time. It all changed for Hitmonchan, and they continued to try to work back in. Because if you're Hitmonchan, if you get 2 wins in a row here, and you win this first series, it's a done deal. If you allow this game to be won by Arbok, though, then we see a bracket reset. We start things over again, and then Arbok will be dead even in the series. But right now, they are still technically down because they haven't won this series yet, which would force that bracket reset. Shot on, though, and a save from Cryptic as Arbok tried to strike first, and they had every chance to do so. But Cryptic was just stronger on that great save, and will keep it away. And 30 seconds in, and we already see a lot of offensive action both ways, but we still remain at 0. Now Wuzzy opening up a lot of space for Zernite. Finds Cryptic a shot. What a save from Antics! My goodness. Great shot. Even better save. Another shot. And Cryptic can't connect. Oh, Hitmonchan had a chance to put it away again. But it was not to be. Antics coming up huge with the save to match Cryptic's save. Now a double down in front. But Hitmonchan not able to put that one away either. We remain deadlocked despite the incredible offense both ways. It'll be Zernite from Hitmonchan, backtracking. Antics to try to work past Wuzzy. He does work past one, but Cryptic from Hitmonchan trying to clear back out. Here's Race. He's off the ceiling now. We'll try to get another one, but was he able to get it away? Here's Cryptic. We'll backtrack to Zernite. Zernite down to Wuzzy. He's got a touch, but unfortunately for him, he had to kind of backtrack a little bit. He had to hit the reverse in order to get the save. Cryptic, another save across, and he's been huge on the defense so far. Time ticks down to 3 minutes left in this game number 4, and we remain deadlocked at 0. Arbok had the next available chance on offense, but they couldn't do a whole lot with it. It's a Cryptic a shot, and although they almost get back to it, Cryptic able to put that one away to take the first goal in game number 4. It's 1-0 for Hitmonchan. Antics just backtracking for that one. Does get a touch on it, almost got it out, but was not able to get enough loft on it to get it above the crossbar. Instead, it just kind of works its way upper 90. And Hitmonchan, a whole different team than we saw in the first 2 games. Whole different team right now on that blue side, and now Cryptic adding injury to insult there with the demo, as Wuzzy now tries to play it across. Cryptic, another one. That one's just gonna hang out in front. Race makes a touch there, but it's not very good to get it out for Arbok. Not exactly what they wanted, rather. Now Cryptic across, trying to find Zernite shot, and that one finds its way through far side. 2-0 for Hitmonchan. Cryptic, a beautifully placed pass. Not a single defender could get back to it, but guess who could? His teammate. And a 2-0 lead for Hitmonchan. And they're 2:20 away from evening the first series and giving us an early night if they win the third game here. But they haven't won this one yet, so obviously they'll have to hold on, because you know how much not only this Arbok side is solid with offense, but also with demos. So you can't be too concerned for this Arbok side, but you do want to kind of, if you are rooting for Arbok tonight, you're kind of like, come on, we saw things develop earlier in game number 1 and 2 that we know that you can capitalize on. Oh, a good side step from Antics, the shot, he puts it through. The single solo play from Antics will make it 2-1. Antics took a hold of that cut left, quick cut right to get Zernite to bite, and the one was he stepped up on it. He was able to just quickly tap that one to far side He was on the right. He pushed it left. And he was not to be found. A shot from Rise Ninja. He puts it in to tie the game at 2. 2 quick strikes from Arbok. Even game. Rise Ninja, what a read to get that one to go short side. And with 1:44 remaining, they have tied the game here. And said, oh, what is it, Bearlight? Play the way that we were playing earlier? Got it. Not a problem at all. A matter of 6, maybe 7 seconds. And they're able to tie the game from the first time they scored. It'll be Zernite. He'll clear back out as Hitmonchan tries to relax. Takes a pass across. Oh, what a save from Antics. Again. He has been excellent so far. And so now Arbok putting on the offensive pressure. Now will rely on their defense a bit as Hitmonchan continues to knock on the doorstep. The pass across, Antics' shot. Cryptic couldn't get to it. 3 unanswered from Arbok. As this game has been incredible RLCS status. As they go back and forth between offensive pressure and trying to play defense. Both ways have been incredibly exciting to watch, but Arbok has turned it up as of late. Now, there'll be Antics. Another pass across. A shot was saved from Zernite. These are the most exciting Rocket League matches to watch. Are the ones where, although the defenses seem to be a little bit lackluster, jumping out in the midfield. So don't get me wrong, the defenses are still incredible, but they don't really. Nobody's really challenging as Wuzzy has to make another save there. It looked like nobody's really challenging the midfield right now. They're kind of leaving it open. But what that leaves for us as viewers is such pure entertainment, because that means the passing plays come out. The defense has to scramble, but they're more than capable of doing so as Wuzzy will make another save. And Hitmonchan's got 8 seconds to try to piece something together here to work back down the field. But it'll be Rise Ninja playing it back out. Off the back wall now. Ray's keeping it up in the air, though. Questionable, but Zernite wasn't able to touch it. Oh, unfortunately. He kind of drops the ball there, literally. And metaphorically, too. So, unfortunately, he was not able to keep that one up. But Hitmonchan will drop that game and drop this series, and Arbok has made it to the next series. Let's go. Bracket reset coming your way. Arbok able to work their way back after it was basically switching sides from Hitmonchan to Arbok. Hitmonchan was able to make a comeback effort earlier in this one. Now it's Arbok's chance as they're able to reset the bracket. We're going to take you to a quick break before we start up this next bracket, or start up this next series, so stick with us. This action has been incredible. We can't wait for more. We'll see you in just a second. We welcome you back to the studios here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Stay Plugged In brings you coverage of the Split 1 2021 of the Spring Nationals. And if you just missed that first series, Arbok came from the lower side of the bracket. That is the first time, though, that they defeated Hitmonchan, despite being a force to be reckoned with, to say the least. Arbok has been 9-1 throughout the season. They took out every team until they reached Hitmonchan again. Guess who they lost the game to, the series to in the regular season? It was Hitmonchan. And then again in the playoffs, the reason they're coming back from the lowers is because Hitmonchan took them out again. Well, listen, Arbok, it was a different story this time. They were able to pull off the first bracket win to force this bracket reset, and we could not be more excited because this action was absolutely incredible, incredible stuff. We want to thank AimLab as well. Exclamation point AimLab in chat to check out what they're all about. FPS shooters, if you're interested in those and you want to fine-tune your gameplay and make it the best it can be, check out AimLab and what they're all about. But first, we're going to bring you the action from the second bracket, another best of 5. We're underway. This one will do it. No more bracket resets. We are at even terms here on the pitch. 0-0 as we start again. It is whoever wins this series wins your Pewter Division, Division 1, the highest level that we have to offer here at Stay Plugged In. Here's Wuzzy. His team able to take one game away from Arbok in that first series, but other than that win, it was pretty much all Arbok. Don't get me wrong, a lot of skill level both ways. It just seemed like they're the more in-tune team as Zernite continues to try to smooth it over with this team that he played a few games with in the regular season, but he was looking to try to relearn the system, relearn the rotation tendencies of his team, and he's able to do that. Oh my goodness. With shots like that, it's not hard to do. That was insane from Zernite as he was able to get that angled shot off, but Arbok there to meet that one and make a save. And so now it'll fall into the hands of Race, who will get past Wuzzy. Zernite gets one touch, but it's up in the air. He's going to have to be careful with that one. Does challenge and able to get it back out. And it'll be Arbok back to their own zone to try to settle this one. So Zernite doing big things for his team. Now Wuzzy gets one demo. Try to get a bump as well. Cryptic try to get a pass. Now Zernite gets another touch. That one goes just high, though, off the crossbar. The follow-up from Wuzzy. Not there. And so he'll backtrack now after a good challenge. Now Race. He'll go off the back wall instead of directly any solid defender there. And the bouncer will find its way through. Rise Ninja able to take the 1-0 lead from Arbok. And they continue their press here as of late. And Zernite can't do much about that one. A purposeful bounce shot there. Sometimes you know, at a lower level, even at GC level, like lower GC level, we're talking below this level by probably a solid 500 MMR, but still, like, they're not even able to. Sometimes their intended bounce shots aren't there. Sometimes they just accidentally don't get enough on the ball. That's not the case at this level. They are purposefully putting the ball exactly where they want it to go. And for Arbok, doing just a little bit better. Here's a pass across. Found Antics with it, but wasn't able to do much with it, so now Wuzzy will work it back out for Hitmonchan. Antics backtracks. It's to Rise Ninja. Go play in. Wuzzy able to just work with it to get the corner and use that corner to propel the ball out. Now it'll be Antics. Not able to get to it because it was Zernite continuing to press here as Hitmonchan tried to create a presence for themselves physically with those bumps. You'll notice the demos. You'll notice them trying to get in your face. If you're the defensive side of the ball, you got to be careful here. Now Cryptic able to sell this one. He'll grab the 100 boost and work it back out. Off the ceiling to himself, but Race knows better, knows what Cryptic is capable of mechanically. So he was up early to get that save, and now he'll work back out. 2 minutes left in this one. It's a 1-0 lead for Arbok here in game number 1. If you're just joining us, Arbok came in from the lowers, but was able to take a series, and because of that, we have a bracket reset, and now Arbok with a 1-0 lead here. Zernite out to Wuzzy. Can it find its way in? No, it's off the post. It's hanging there, and Zernite able to finish it as nobody from Arbok was able to find their way back and get a save, and we're tied at 1 with a minute 38 remaining. It's good to have friends who will follow you up in behind, especially when the defense is out of place, and that's what happened to Arbok right there, and Hitmonchan was able to take advantage of it nicely. So now a 1-1 lead, 1:33 remaining on the clock. Here's Cryptic to work it over to Wuzzy. Wuzzy back off the corner, tries to find a cross, but Race, recognizing he had plenty of time, most likely via the communication skill level from his teammates, and he was able to just take his time, not rush into it, and was able to get a chance off for Arbok because of it. But for Arbok, Hitmonchan was all over that one. Now Wuzzy, he's in the middle of the field, gets a touch of shot, far side, they can't get to it! Oh, it was a heck of an angle for Wuzzy, as Zernite put it across. Rise Ninja couldn't get up to it, so instead was going to take his time and try to rotate. Unfortunately for him, he was coming off the other side post, and that's so difficult to get to, and Hitmonchan will gladly take that 2-1 lead. Race now booms down the field. Was he able to get a save as his team, Hitmonchan, has given themselves a lead here late in this one? It'll be Rise Ninja. Try to backtrack it as they need to work some offense here. They're down to 45 seconds left. Down 1 is Arbok. Good patience from Race to pass across, but Rise Ninja could not connect. He had the defense dead to rights, but just wasn't able to do much with it. Now Cryptic with the foot reset, forcing Race off that back wall. And finally, Rise Ninja will find Antics and they'll work their way back out of the defensive side of things. Arbok putting on plenty of pressure, but running out of time. They're down 2-1 in this game, number 1. After being up 1-0. Earlier, pass across, and Zernite had to be sharp, it was. And now it'll be back to Cryptic. He gets past 1. Rise Ninja, good pass back down to Race. How did he eyeball that pass? Unfortunately for him, his teammate was not ready for that, and Rise Ninja not able to get a touch, and Hitmonchan will take game number 1 after being down in this series. So great job to stick with it. And for the past 3 minutes, that last 3 minutes here in game number 1, it was Hitmonchan figuring things out and able to just hold Arbok to limited solid chances. There were a lot of shots on, but they couldn't really find a grade A chance, and that was exclusively due to the defense of Hitmonchan. They were absolutely outstanding. Cryptic has been huge in defense this entire time. This level of gameplay that you're seeing right now, we're not strangers to it. We see it all the time. If you would like to get into this action and play yourselves, or if you're in the league already, you just want a second shot at this incredible team that you're watching on the pitch, both of these teams, you can sign up now at espin.gg/events. Make sure that you go and find Spring Nationals is the Rocket League, league that you're looking for. So go and register. If you don't have accounts, just create an account on our website. Again, espin.gg. Create an account. Go to the events page and find Spring Nationals and sign up today. As Antics now turning on this one, trying to find Race. Will jump out, try to get a bump as well, but it seemed like Hitmonchan was all over that one. He'll work back out. Race able to get a touchdown to Antics. He'll take a shot, but was he not afraid of that one? And he will try to control. But it's Race that's going to take to it, put it off the corner, and try to find a teammate here with this one. It is Antics, the teammate he was looking for. But Arbok kind of stuck at midfield, just trying to keep and press into the offensive zone. They have the possession. It just gets thrown right back at them from Hitmonchan. Now Zernite in a good place for that one, shot on, but Race able to get the save, and Cryptic gets it away from Antics, who was waiting for boost. As the ball was about to settle back towards him, so he was kind of being patient, but his Cryptic was like, nah, I'm not going to let you be that patient. Cryptic just faster in that instance. And that's the reason he's got possession now. He moves back out past half field, but that's where Antics was waiting for it. Zernite right in the middle of the field. Hitmonchan doing a good job of shot, and Zernite puts it in for Hitmonchan. They may have dropped the first series to Arbok, which forced the the bracket reset. As I'm mixing up my Rocket League terms here. Bracket reset. Hitmonchan now in the driver's seat as they've won game 1 and they're up 1-0 in this game number 2. And I think the difference between the first bracket and this one here, it's just the simple fact that, Cryptic, Zernite, and Wuzzy for Hitmonchan have been controlling the midfield more. I talked about it earlier, how the midfield was pretty open for both teams to do whatever they would like, and now Hitmonchan has kind of solved that issue, but the thing is, Arbok hasn't really been able to match it. So because of that, Hitmonchan gets some open opportunities, and Arbok does not. Maybe not as many. Here's Antics. Finds Race. He's on the back wall, trying to work it back to Rise Ninja. But for him, it's Wuzzy cheating down the field. The cherry picker worked for Hitmonchan, and they take the 2-0 lead here in game number 2. Wuzzy just knowing exactly what was developing? I'm pretty sure Cryptic at that point, the way he played that, said, hey, Wuzzy, just stay there down the field. This one's coming to you. And that 50-50 was on point. 2-0 lead here for Hitmonchan. You don't see that very often, this high-level gameplay, but when you create chances and you control the midfield, you're able to do things like that. Wuzzy, no way. Are you kidding me? When it rains, it pours for Arbok, and Hitmonchan taking the 3-0 lead. As Wuzzy just knew what Antics was doing, read his mind, and got a 50. I don't think he expected to score there. I think he thought that maybe Arbok would be able to get back to it. He just wanted to create some pressure. And sometimes when you do that, good things happen. And good things happening for sure for Hitmonchan in this second bracket. Race almost getting that double touch to go. But it'll be Wuzzy up to Cryptic. He gets another touch. We talked about that combination. Zernite finally finding his place and fitting into this rotation nicely. A little bit of a rough start for Zernite. And at the higher level, sometimes you are able to kind of point fingers as to what's going on or who may not be fitting into the rotation as well. And for Hitmonchan early, it was Zernite. Arbok able to get one back here, though. 3-1 now with 2:10 left. I feel like Zernite was a little bit part of the issue, and I jinxed him again as he had jumped and wasn't able to get that touch. I think since then, though, he's been doing a great job to kind of pick things up, and because of that, you're looking at a 3-1 lead for Hitmonchan. A little bit of a mistake there, but Arbok, of course, is going to take advantage of it, as do most players at this level. But now Zernite trying to put it out in the back of his mind as he continues to try to forget that ever happened. Cryptic down the field. Rise Ninja now off the back wall. Gets bumped a little bit. But Race able to get up to that one as well. Wuzzy gets 50'd, and now it'll be Cryptic that recognized it, though. Great recognition and quick reaction time. But it's still going to be a struggle for Hitmonchan to try to get this one out. Shot on! Wuzzy with save! And the follow-up from Rise Ninja is not hard enough. Not enough velocity on that one, so Cryptic will work it back out. Over the Zernite now, trying to keep the pressure on Wuzzy. Shot, nobody back because of the demo from Cryptic. Hitmonchan has figured it out now. 4-1 for them late in game number 2. And you can't make saves if you're not in the net. And Cryptic knows this. Realized the last man back was legitimately in his sights. And he used his skill from Aim Lab to just jump out and get that targeted demo directly on target. And take out the defense as Hitmonchan now with a 4-1 lead. Wuzzy now. Back wall. Works his way to Cryptic off the 50-50. Now Cryptic another demo. He's been the typically he's the finesser of the group. Cryptic knows how to use demos in opportune times, and right now I think he's realized that it is the opportune time. As Rise Ninja will get one back here, though. 4-2 as Arbok continues to keep it within arm's reach, and it will always be the case between these two teams. But Hitmonchan, just Cryptic especially, we called his name so many times on the defense through the first series and even through the second series early. But now we will call his name for a completely different reason. He has been unreal with the demos. Here's Antics. Back off the back wall and slowing it down his Race, but they couldn't get the goal to go. It's still there, though. And finally, it's off the post again. Oh, no. And Antics not able to finish there either, and Wuzzy gets to it. And he'll play back to himself, but it's right into the hands of Antics. But Arbok had a grand opportunity, and they weren't able to connect. Cryptic almost found a way to sneak that one through The last two back were a little bit apart from where the ball was, but they weren't able to do much. Cryptic kind of made that save a little bit harder than it had to be. I think he was backtracking a little bit. Makes a save, and they're able to do just enough to hold off this Arbok pressure at the end. So now it'll be Hitmonchan one game away from a series win themselves. And if they do that, they're able to take the grand finals. Hitmonchan has been absolutely phenomenal since the bracket reset. And you see this a lot of times in Rocket League too, with whether it be best of 5 or best of 7, best of 3, doesn't matter. If there's a bracket reset, you'll notice that sometimes the team in the uppers, they a lot of the times will drop the first series, and then when it comes back to business, they're ready to go. And Hitmonchan has proven that that is a likely outcome, because it's the one happening and developing in front of our eyes right now. That being said, we've seen Arbok and what they're capable of doing. They were able to win 2 in a row before in the first series. But Hitmonchan just continues to be their kryptonite for whatever reason. Arbok is a great team, and teams struggle against them constantly. Hitmonchan did drop their first series ever to Arbok specifically. But since then, they have the 2-0 lead here in the series. It's going to be incredibly exciting to see as Arbok will try to hold on to things here as we roll into game number 3 now here coming up as we get the server up and running here for you all. And we're excited to bring you the rest of this action. Again, go to espin.gg if you want to be a part of this. In any way, we not only host leagues, we also do events that you can join in as well. So make sure you check out the website and go to events, and you can see. You can even search Rocket League to see what games or see what events are related to Rocket League specifically, if that is your game of choice. We also host events for Valorant, Overwatch, League of Legends, and Rainbow Six Siege, another big league that we have put together as well, which we call the Breach League. Spring Breach, the finals of Spring Breach. If you're into Rainbow Six Siege, you don't want to miss it. It'll be Sunday around 6 p.m. Eastern. Cryptic clears out Antics right there, though. Finds Rice Ninja. Good pass back across as well, but that one's cut off nicely by the Hitmonchan defense. And Arbok left to kind of backtrack. Zernite kind of making things awkward there. He mistouched, but it doesn't matter. Cryptic able to get dribbles off. Oh, far side not able to do it. Was he a shot? And what a save from Rise Ninja. Underrated, because it seemed like it was going to be an easy save, but the way he had to backtrack and flip his car at the exact right moment was way more difficult than it looked, for sure. At least in my mind, mechanically, that was pretty outstanding. Here's Race. Able to wait out Cryptic and play it back into the zone where Zernite will get a demo. On Race. Here's Wuzzy trying to play back in as well, but now this one will go off the back wall. Race waiting for it. Zernite able to connect on that one as well. I feel like that might be a part of it as well for Arbok here. They're not really anticipating the misses, right? It doesn't really happen as often at this level. So Zernite is a bit off. And you see in his name too, he's rusty, ladies and gentlemen. At least according to his name, so maybe that's why they're throwing him off a little bit too much, but it's working in Hitmonchan's favor nonetheless. And they continue to go to work. Zernite. Offside wall now, where Race will jump up to it. Has a chance. He's got Cryptic in a 1v1 situation. He tries to get it through. Oh, it's off the post. And Antics gets it nonetheless and will put it in for a 1-0 lead. Shot to get far side, get the cut back, and it just, luckily for Antics and the rest of the Arbok squad, that one just hits 2 posts and just worked its way out in front where Hitmonchan was nowhere to be found, so they definitely lucked out with that one. There's no doubt about it. Down to 2:48 left. Arbok trying to get their first win of this series. If you're just tuning in, they won the first series, and that's why we had a bracket reset, because they came in from the lowers. Here's Wuzzy now. Gets a touch. Fortunately for him, it was not exactly where he planned it to be, but it'll go across to Cryptic. He's got a chance. Rise Ninja up for this one nicely. Ran out of boost. Maybe try to throw some flare to throw off the defense. Cryptic tries to find Wuzzy, but they weren't able to connect. Now Antics back out. Cryptic keeping it away from the center of the field in front of his net, but that will only be temporarily as Arbok tried to find a way to work it back in. But he was unable to do so. Now it's Antics up for this one. It's a touch off the back wall. Race. Oh, what a shot from Antics! He gets the doink and places it where it needed to go. Antics off that back wall and quickly recognizes it, and the quick little back whip will propel that ball and put just enough velocity on it to sneak its way through, and it's a 2-0 lead for Arbok. The presence of mind on the offense for Antics to get that one was second to none. Second to none. Great recognition. As now it'll be Race. He'll play it back in. Cryptic. He'll play back out. Here's Race. He tries to find Rise Ninja with it. Oh, back to Race. Antics knows better, though. Wuzzy was on the back wall, so it'll allow Antics to jump up and get the next touch. It's over the Race. Back off the back wall, and Rise Ninja puts it in. And that one's all attributed to the patience by Antics, as he had backtracked and put it off the wall to himself to set up Race to put it off that back wall himself and set up the ultimate goal scorer there in that one. Ultimately, it was Rise Ninja that puts it away, but that was all attributed to the fact that instead of going up for that one, Antics was calm. Here's Wuzzy with a flip reset, but he's not able to make that happen either, so it'll be a backtrack from Cryptic trying to get back to Zernite. He wasn't able to get that 50-50. That was just attributed to Zernite. He gave too much room up to Antics, and he'll take a 4-0 lead now for Arbok as they're able to put in another one. Cryptic was kind of handcuffed on that one, so you can't put all the blame on Zernite, as Cryptic kind of panically tried to drop it back with the back pass option, but he didn't recognize that Zernite was all the way back in his own end trying to collect boost, which allowed all the time in the world for Arbok and Antics to just find the open net and pop it back that way. Here's Zernite. He takes a shot as well. Right now for Hitmonchan, you're up 2 in the series. You're probably not going to get this comeback win, although it's possible, obviously. 51 seconds. Oh, Cryptic was there in the slot, too, but Rise Ninja able to get to that one, too. So now it's not Hitmonchan's goal to win this next one, but it is their goal to win the momentum back. Because right now it's been all Arbok. And it's kind of a mistouch there. Zernite could have probably scored that one, but sometimes you get in your own head when the game's not going your way, and I think that's what's happening here. So Antics with another goal here. He'll put one in. 5-0 now for Arbok. With 24 seconds left to go, it has been the Arbok show, which has not been the case very often in this series. Hitmonchan got Arbok backed up into a corner, but like the Cobra that Arbok is, if you don't know Pokemon, you can spell Arbok backwards and see what you get. And you back a snake into the corner, and let me tell you, they'll bite you. And I think that's what Arbok did here, as Hitmonchan up 2 in the series. Arbok not even phased by it. 5-0 the count here, unless another goal is scored. In fact, Race up for it to make it happen. What a shot. What a play down the field. And Arbok has all their momentum now. It'll be a 6-0 lead for that seam, as Race is just ready for that boom down the field. Hitmonchan left speechless right now. They almost put in another one. At this point, Zernite kind of just like stops. They know they've been defeated in game number 3, and they're totally okay with that because at least they have the series lead. They were hoping to get a goal back there to gain a little bit of momentum, but it was not to be for Hitmonchan. And this is a scoreline that you are not expecting to see by any means between these two teams. 6-0, the final in game number 3 here in the resetted bracket, where Arbok was all but defeated there, but like I said, they got backed into that corner, and they were just able to bite back, needless to say. So props to Arbok for not even being phased. It didn't even seem like they had their backs up against the wall to begin with, especially when the get-go. When that game got started, it was just all Arbok from there. They continued to try to press the momentum. They did not allow a goal from Hitmonchan, which is actually bigger than you would think, right? If you give up a goal in that game, you know, no sweat, right? No, if you allow one for Hitmonchan, they will make it pour. They will absolutely control every facet of the game. Suddenly their passing starts landing. Suddenly their rotations are tighter. You can't give any kind of momentum back, and Arbok did a great job to take that away. So now we'll see if they can build off that. As we move you into game number 4, here's a shot on Antics, answered by Zernite, who will work it over to Wuzzy. Zernite, great job to step up there. Again, he was the one that was a little bit lackluster in the last one. He seemed like he was a little bit slower on rotations, but he definitely has looked a lot sharper here, at least in the early stages of this one. Cryptic. Looked like he got a flip reset to try to throw things off, and in fact, he is kind of making race a little bit jumpy there, quite literally. Well, couldn't do much with it. Here's Cryptic. Answered by Rise Ninja, but right back into the zone by Wuzzy for Hitmonchan. Here's Zernite now. He's got a chance to get another touch. It's Race. Trying to clear it out again for Arbok. And you'll notice most times as well, as the shot comes through, off the back wall, follow up, Rise Ninja just high. You'll notice that most of the time after a big game like that, where one team, it's so one-sided. The 6-0 win from Arbok. Usually the game after, you'll see a lot of Pong, right? It means that Hitmonchan has made a huge adjustment in their gameplay, so whether or not that's beneficial for Hitmonchan or Arbok is yet to be seen, but that's why you'll see a lot of times it'll be a bit of Pong, right? A bit of a chess match early in the next one, because if you go down 6-0, you're making a large change in the next game, and Arbok will either, one, figure it out, and then it'll be a similar result, or two, Hitmonchan will have found the answer. Wuzzy up quickly for this one. Tap back down off the back wall. Zernite with a shot, but Rise Ninja answers the call with a great save. Now Antics will try to find Race's teammate for Arbok as they continue to remain in the offensive zone, but now it's a good pass. Cryptic off back wall. Wuzzy shot in. It's 1-0 for Hitmonchan. Wuzzy able to set up Cryptic, who puts it off the back wall, realizing that the defense was backtracking on that one. And the defense forced to kind of stay put where they were. It seemed like Cryptic knew that they had to pull a 180, get back quickly, and Wuzzy would have a chance off the back wall to put it in before they could even get set. And that's exactly what happened. Here's Zernite trying to get off the back wall. Almost gets it to go. Cryptic tried to play back down and in, but was incapable of doing so. Incapable, rather. But Wuzzy will try to keep it on for Hitmonchan, who is 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from the Grand Finals win. Unless Arbok can piece it together here, which we've seen them do in the last bracket, so let's not get ahead of ourselves now. Zernite. A demo. Cryptic, though, is the one that landed it on Rise Ninja, not the other way around, and for him, that leaves him plenty of space. Back down. Able to beat one, tries to beat two, but Ray's so quick to get up to it, but now Wuzzy will put on the pressure. Tapping it back out. Here's Race. He's able to try to get past one as well, but he'll be right back in the zone by Cryptic. He kind of fakes his Race and Antics around the back wall. Zernite not able to press much either. Wuzzy needs to get up quickly to at least get a touch. He does. Now Cryptic will try to play out. Wuzzy demoed on the back wall, but Zernite back to help out nicely. As Zernite definitely finding his place yet again. It seems like he's in and out of the rotations constantly. In that case, it kind of benefited their team, but now it's backtracking and Cryptic has to come across to make a save. As it looks like Zernite was low on boost now. It's back down, Antics a chance, but this one kind of hangs there. Locates a teammate, but was bumped off it from behind from Zernite to put that right back into the hands of Cryptic, and it'll play out. 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining for Hitmonchan. Missing, though, is Zernite again, so Cryptic will jump up on it. Now Wuzzy waiting for Cryptic to try to get a touch there. That was kind of awkward, but Zernite will at least get a play to Wuzzy and back out to the corner where they'll try to kill more time. That's before. It's Arbok trying to find Antics. He will wisely backtrack on this one and get a touch away. Now back out. Here's Wuzzy. He's up for this one. Great touch back out. Wuzzy will kill even more time, but it's back right back in the zone where Cryptic will play it over the sidewall. Now Wuzzy gets a demo. That'll allow them to play even more offensive, kill even more time. Antics tries to play pass. Now Cryptic met by Rise Ninja, but it's right back in the zone, so it'll force Race back, and he's got 22 seconds left for his team to try to push. But Antics in such a weird spot. He does beat one, though, and an extra touch to put it into the corner where they will have to go to work, and go to work soon. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Wuzzy, Hitmonchan, seeing the trophy in their eyes, Wuzzy, not the best touch shot from Antics. It's still up in the air. 1 second remaining. Wuzzy just needs to kill it, and a demo will free it up, and Hitmonchan is your Split 1 champions for Spring Nationals 2021. Not surprised by any means at how close this series was and how fun it was to watch this and witness this. I don't think I've ever been as excited to be sitting in the spectator mode watching an incredible game. That was outstanding. Arbok able to force the bracket reset, and when we got back to it, Hitmonchan jumped out to the 2-0 lead in the series. Arbok was able to capture one back. But ever since then, it was a great job from Hitmonchan to control that game number 4 and just eliminate the chances, really, from Arbok. But congratulations again to Hitmonchan for their tournament win. They have won this series and won the entirety of the league with the great play throughout the bracket. Again, just continuing to be Arbok. All props in the world. Great season from them. But it just continues to be the Arbok kryptonite. They just cannot find a way to beat Hitmonchan, no matter if Adam was in or if they decided to sub in Zernite, or if somebody couldn't make it, it just seemed like somebody else was able to step up. Remember, everybody, there is a Valorant showcase on Tuesday that will be hosted on this channel, and I will be casting that one as well, I believe. So I'll be in the booth here for that one. Again, the showcase Tuesday. Make sure you tune in here at twitch.tv/staypluggedin. Again, if you want to be part of that incredible action that you just got to witness, you were able to do so. Play in front of a bunch of college recruiters and colleges in general. And not to mention just recruiters in general. Some professional ones we have hop into. So always a chance. Split 2 registration is open now. And a showcase again on Tuesday. But check out those events at espin.gg/events. And you'll find all of those. Well, it was a pleasure being here with you all from the Stay Plugged In Studios. My name is Bearlight. You can check me out at on Twitter at Bearlight Gaming. Bearlight Gaming. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight for the championship for Spring Nationals. Until next time, have a great night.